Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome to my channel, Momming with Migraine. This video is actually a continuation of a video that I put up just 2 weeks ago. I'll put a card for that here, where I talked about my goals for 2022. In that video, I mostly focused on the goal of retraining my service dog after having 2 babies during COVID, and I told you that this video was coming. In this video, we're going to talk about impending childbirth and the things that I'm doing and have been doing to prepare for it mentally and physically. Because before I can get to anything with my service dog or anything in my personal life even, I need to get through this. I need to survive childbirth. I need to focus on myself and healing and making sure that physically and mentally I'm nice and strong through this birth and through the postpartum period. And so that's something that is huge on my mind for 2022, and that's what this video is going to be about. Now, one huge update from last time, I do have my hospital bag packed now. 38 weeks. Finally got my hospital bag packed. So that's one big mental worry out of the way, but let's talk about more of them. You know, it's a lot to know that childbirth is coming up, and it's a lot to know that childbirth is imminent. As I'm prepping this video, I'm literally days away from the most pregnant I've ever been, and I'm having a lot of feelings about it. They say seconds come sooner, so I'm not anticipating weeks, and so it just feels like my life is this cliffhanger right now. I know that I'm at increased risk for some of the complications that I had happen during my last delivery, and I'm also at normal risk for normal things that can happen during any delivery. So I'm definitely having my ups and downs processing this, but I'm doing a decent job mentally and physically dealing with all of it because of the time that I spent with my licensed therapist on BetterHelp. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. That's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. My first birth was a lot, both physically and mentally, and therapy through BetterHelp really helped me get through that postpartum period. In 2022, I'm setting a new mental health goal to stay ahead of my mental health instead of only paying attention to it when I have already fallen behind. And one of the best ways that you can follow through with your mental health goals is to talk them through with a licensed therapist. With BetterHelp, you have access to their network of over 20,000 licensed therapists. BetterHelp is not a crisis line, and it's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely through their online system. The way BetterHelp works is they assess your needs, and then they match you with your own licensed professional. There's access to their network worldwide, and you can start communicating in as little as 48 hours. As I go into the delivery of baby number 2, I am so glad that I have such a convenient mental health tool right here at my fingertips. I prefer to do all of my therapy on BetterHelp through video chat. Even though it's a little bit more nerve-wracking, I feel like I get more out of it. But during that crucial postpartum healing part, I love having the peace of mind knowing that I can also just text my therapist whenever I need to if I'm not really feeling up for a phone call that day. So no matter what I'm feeling, no matter what's going on with my body or my mind, I know that I can get the help that I need from my therapist. If mental health is something that you also want to focus on in 2022, I'll stick my link in the description and you can check out BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Now, originally in this video, I was also going to talk about pseudotumor. What might happen to my pseudotumor after the delivery of this baby? To be frank, all I can think about is the baby. I can't think about literally anything else right now. I think the last thing that I need going into delivery is to think about what could happen with my pseudotumor and stuff like that. I'm not interested in that can of worms until after delivery, so I'm actually gonna skip that part. There's no need to think about like possible shunt surgeries when I'm going into delivering a baby. It was silly of me to even think that I wanted to talk about that, but for those of you who are specifically waiting for it, I'm sorry, but the wait will be a little bit longer. So with that little thing out of the way, let's talk about my mental health. The things that I'm doing to make sure that I don't absolutely lose my mind going into this delivery. 1, being extremely transparent with my midwife and my doula about exactly what I'm feeling. If they say, Jen, how are you feeling? I'm not telling them, oh, I'm fine. I'm telling them what I'm feeling, because then they know what I'm feeling and they can respond appropriately and make me feel better about it. That's very out of character for me, so I'm very proud of that. I'm also trying to have more open talks with my husband right now because he's gonna be there. He's gonna be my support system, and I think it's important that he knows what I'm nervous about. But before I talk to him about anything, I first ask him if it's an okay time to talk. I don't want to emotionally dump on him just because I'm going through a lot mentally. Like, he's going through a lot mentally too, because after I deliver this baby, he has to take care of everybody, essentially, while I'm healing. And then if I end up with postpartum preeclampsia again, and it's severe enough for me to be hospitalized again, then he's going to be at home with 2 babies, and I'm going to be in the hospital. And I mean, that kills people and stuff. So he's got a lot that he's processing right now too. I don't think it's appropriate for me, just because I am doing my life portal thing, to assume that he's ready to talk to me anytime I need someone to talk to. So I'm trying to keep the floor open for him to tell me when he's not feeling up for it. And in addition, I'm telling him what I need when I talk to him. When you talk to someone about your feelings, sometimes you just want to be heard, and sometimes you want to fix. You want to bounce off of their brain and see if you can come up with a solution. So I'm trying to be clear with him, like, this is something that I just want to be heard about. This is something I just need to get off my chest, versus this is something that I feel ready to fix. Can you help me talk through these solutions? Or do you have suggestions that you can think of that maybe I haven't thought of yet? Another thing that I'm doing for my mental health is spending time grounding myself just alone. So before bed, I listen to a hypnobirthing track. I listen to the exact same one every single night. The hypnobirthing track talks about being calm, centered, and in control throughout your birth experience. It talks about your strong waves coming on, and with every strong wave, you feel more calm, you feel more powerful. And then the point of this hypnobirth is that you do it right before bed. So it finishes you off with the baby is delivered, you're in euphoria, and then you slowly are drifting off to sleep, and that's built into the track as well. So each night I'm going to bed with this euphoric vision of my baby has entered the world, and I am just happy and tired, and I drift off to sleep with that in my brain. And that has really helped me cut down on my anxiety dreams that I was having a couple of weeks ago, and instead my dreams are filled with things that are happy about having the baby here. So the hypnobirthing has been really helping, even though I didn't use hypnobirthing in the moment with baby A. And I don't think I'm going to do that with baby B either. My husband also got me this journal for me grounding myself. The best journal ever. He got this for me for Christmas. I can ask him where he got this and see if I can get a link to put it down below. But this is a really great journal for me because of my memory problems. It's hard for me to track my mental health and be on top of my mental health if I can't really remember how I was feeling yesterday. And how I felt yesterday is being clouded by how I'm feeling today. So this journal has self-assessments, it has reflections, it's got habit tracker, what else? Gratitude and affirmations, and it's just all organized really nicely. And then it also has the dates not filled out, which I prefer because I don't want to have to commit to doing something every single day. I want to be able to do it when the mood strikes and not worry about like having empty pages and stuff. I know that's like totally type A of me, but it would drive me nuts if I missed days. So I'll put a link to that below, either in the description or the pinned comments, if I'm able to get a link from him, if he remembers where he got it from. Last but not least, for my mental health, I am just trying to soak in these last days. Or weeks, but let's be honest, it's probably going to be days. So I'm spending time with baby B, mostly during the hypnobirthing when I'm going to bed. I'm spending dedicated time focused solely on baby A, focused solely on Betty, and focused solely on my husband. In addition to this journal to be focused on myself. I'm trying to fill up all of my cups, so to speak. All right. Another thing that I did this time in order to keep my mind from racing like it was last time with baby A is I have lists of things that need to happen the second labor starts. One list is a to grab list and one list is a to-do list. I have them out on the coffee table in the living room. They're just sitting out. And if I ever think of something else that I want to add to one of those lists, then I add it to the list and then it's out of my brain. On my to grab list, it's not just a hospital bag because there are certain things that you can't just leave in a hospital bag for a month. You've got a 5-week window from 37 weeks to 42 weeks when the baby could be born. I can't leave stuff in a bag for that long sometimes. Phone, keys, wallet, prescriptions, refrigerated snacks that I would like during labor, of course the hospital bag, and I'll need the diaper bag. Woo, that was my chair, that was not a fart. I'll need the diaper bag for baby A for the babysitter. Stuff like that. Having that list there means I don't need to constantly be going through it in my brain. It's there. It's out. It's out of my brain. I can relax. On my to-do list when labor starts, things like a gentle reminder to eat, to take a nap or rest if I am able, to have Brian walk Buddy, to have Brian take a nap if we feel like there's time for him to nap before we leave. Because yes, even though I am the one delivering the baby, he is the one who is going to be there supporting me for who knows how many hours. And it's a super active role to be the supportive husband who's there, even when there's also a doula present. Brian is an integral and crucial part of my birth experience, and I really need him to be rested too, if that's possible. I also have on there like the full list of people that I need to text when I go into labor. I prefer not to let family and friends know when I'm in early labor or active labor. I prefer to just let them know that the baby has been born. But there are a lot of people that I do need to text ahead of time. People like, obviously the midwife, obviously the doula, but also the babysitter for baby A. If you have a birth photographer, you need to contact your birth photographer. If you're having your placenta encapsulated, you need to contact that person to let them know that they'll be having a placenta coming soon. This is a list of things that I don't want to have buzzing around in my brain and trying to remember when I'm trying to breathe through contractions. I love this. As always, guys, feel free to comment below if there's more stuff that I'm missing. I'm not trying to do like a full list here. This is all just sort of examples, but if you have stuff like this that helped you, honestly, I am all ears. Please throw them in the comments below. And we shimmy over here. There's not too much that I'm doing to physically get ready because physically I'm mostly just chasing baby A. But I am stretching by feel, especially in my low back and hips area, trying to make sure that I'm loosey-goosey and I don't have any weird soreness when I go into labor. And I'm also doing stretching that's by design. So a lot of people have heard of the Miles circuit that's supposed to put baby into a better position for labor. But I'm doing spinning baby circuits that are specifically designed for people who flip posterior so that I can try to keep the baby anterior. Baby A was born posterior, and posterior births are harder, longer, more exhausting for mom, more problems, more tearing, less fun. We're trying to avoid that this time. Avoid preeclampsia, avoid a posterior birth, and a healthy baby. What more could I want? But yeah, physically, that's pretty much all I'm doing. Stretching by feel, stretching by design. And lastly, I'm just calling this always be ready. Baby A's birth. Baby A was born at about 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. I couldn't sleep on Friday night because of contractions, and I should have had little alarm bells from that, but I didn't because I had had so many Braxton Hicks for about 2 months, and they were actually pretty strong the entire time. I spent a lot of the 3rd trimester with baby A on rest, trying to keep her from coming early. That's not going on with this pregnancy. But my point is, going into it, it was a little bit of a different situation. I'd been having contractions. These were just more contractions. Nonetheless, I woke up Saturday morning, I hadn't really slept, and I decided to clean the whole house for like 4 hours. I just cleaned. I was drinking pregnancy tea, I took the dog to the park, I came back, I tried to take a nap because I was utterly exhausted, couldn't. Tried to eat because I was starting to get nauseous, almost couldn't. So I went into labor with baby A, sleep deprived, having just exercised, and not having eaten very much. Not this time. I've learned. If I'm tired, I take a nap, or I do what I can to take a nap. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I know I'm not going to eat again for another couple of hours, I eat anyway, just in case. So I'm constantly eating, constantly napping, constantly being hydrated. If I eat salty food, I immediately flush with water. I just want to always be ready. If baby B decides, I'm coming right now, I'm coming in an hour, that's fine. I'm ready because I'm super hydrated. Right now, I have had 32 ounces of water. I had a liquid IV like 2 hours ago, and I had a Huel right before I started filming. Like, I'm ready. I'm rested. I have my list. I have my bag. I feel mentally more prepared. And I know that physically I'm more prepared. I can't be perfect with it, but I'm hoping that I can go into labor feeling relatively awake and relatively full and hydrated. With baby A, it was an attempted home birth, and I ended up transferring to the hospital because I was exhausted, I was uncontrollably shaking, and I could barely stay awake. This time I'm attempting another out-of-hospital birth, but I'm going to be doing it at a birth center. I'll explain why in another video, but I kind of hope that this is going to be like my redemption birth. I don't mean redemption as in I failed last time and I'm going to do better this time, because that's not what happened last time. What happened last time is my body needed something and I listened to it. And I'm really glad that I did, because that's what my body needed and I truly believe that. But this time, if I go in a little bit more prepared, maybe things will go smoother. I don't think I did a candid video before having baby A, talking to you guys about how I was feeling going into the delivery, but I definitely feel more solid and more grounded going into this one, even though in a way I feel like I am dreading it a little bit more because I know how painful it's going to be. I'm also just really scared of going through postpartum preeclampsia again. And I guess I'm scared of a lot of other things, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't really want to think about that. Let's focus on the fact that I can do this. I've done it before. I'm made for this. And any other words of encouragement that you would like to give me down below. Hope and pray and wishing for a smooth transition for both me and baby B in this upcoming delivery. I can't wait to find out what happens, and I can't wait to share the story with you guys when it does. And finally, one last reminder to go check out BetterHelp. That's Better, H-E-L-P, and a huge thank you to them for sponsoring this video. I'll be counting on BetterHelp to help me stay accountable to my 2022 mental health goals. Thanks for watching, and assuming baby allows it, I will see you again next week.